All right, so today's pre-calculus problem, we have this function. H of t is t plus 3 over t. And then we need to find these different values of the output, the values of the function in different places. Um, so we have h of negative 1. And so like we said on previous videos, um, to get this, all we need to do is plug in whatever is in the parentheses in for the input variable, which in this case is t. So for here, for this one, h of negative 1, we'll plug in negative 1 for t. So we have negative 1 plus 3 over negative 1. And of course, that is negative 1 minus 3, which would be negative 4. H of 4, we're going to plug in 4 for t. So we have 4 plus 3 over 4. And we can find a common denominator. So that would be 4. So this becomes 16 over 4 plus 3 over 4. And so now we add across the numerators and we get 19 over 4. H of 1 half, plug in 1 half for t. So we have 1 half plus 3 divided by 1 half. And of course, 3 divided by 1 half is the same as 3 times 2. So divide by a fraction, flip the denominator fraction, and multiply. So we have 3 times 2, which would be 6. And then 6 plus 1 half would give us 13 halves, or 6.5. Okay, so now we get to the trickier ones maybe. So for h of x minus 1, uh, plug in x minus 1 for t. So plug in the first x minus 1 and then plus 3 divided by x minus 1. Now, like I said in other videos, with WebAssign, as long as your answers are equivalent, they don't have to be simplified in any way. Uh, so in WebAssign, for sure, this would work. The only other thing you might could do is multiply this part by x plus 1, and then you have a common denominator. But is that a simplified version? I don't know. I guess it's up for debate. But I think this is fine. You don't really need to unless there's a reason you need to find a common denominator. I wouldn't worry about it. All right, so now we get to the last one, h of 1 over x. Again, we're going to plug 1 over x in for both of these t's in our function. So we'll have 1 over x plus 3 divided by 1 over x. And again, when we divide fractions, 3 over 1 divided by 1 over x, we will flip the denominator. So we'll make that 3 over 1 and then times x over 1. So we're going to flip that one on the bottom, multiply by what we have on top. So now we just have 1 over x plus 3x. And again, you could find common denominator, which would be x, multiply this one by x, but again, we don't really have to. So we'll leave it like that for now. Um, so again, the main thing with these, f of whatever input, h of whatever input, it doesn't really matter what the function is called. But whatever these inputs are, whatever's in the parentheses, plug those in, plug that in to your variable every time you see it, and then simplify as you need to. Obviously with these, when you're working with numbers, you need to get down to a number. But if you have a variable and you're not getting, your answer is not a number, it's an expression or a function. You may or may not need to simplify it. It just kind of depends on the context. But if this is your um, if all that's left to do is simplify, maybe you don't need to do that. Especially with WebAssign. Um, with WebAssign, they're pretty good about working with equivalent answers, so you can leave it unsimplified. All right, if you have any other problems you'd like me to do, you can drop them in the comments, or if you have my email, you can send me an email.